Hey, I want to take you out of the realm of our norm of comfort here, right?
Okay.
Because I saw this video and it got me and a person that I talked to talking about it, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know where I stand with it morally and otherwise. And I just thought, let me perhaps, get in on this conversation with you. A father goes to a school
Okay.
because my son, who's, what is that boy, 6, 7 years old,
Hmm.
is very unstable, very unhappy. He's bullied at school, terribly so. He's in his shell. A young child like that is thinking of ending things. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's really, really bad.
yeah.
Father goes to the school,
Hmm.
and he gets there. It's a group of older girls, probably 10, 12,
Hmm.
who bully this kid, and they say the most unthinkable things to this child. Father says, hey, you got to stop that. You got to stop talking to my child like that. The little girl, 10, 12 years old, mimics what the father's saying in child's speak. Nya, 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 nya. And continues in front of the father to barrage the child with the unthinkable that she normally does. You can see the child go behind the father and hold on to the leg. And the father says, who are your parents? And tries to speak to the girl. And the girl, once again, mimics what the father is saying, backchats and belittles. And father, swings at the child. Swings.
Oof.
Swings and knocks the lights out of her.
Oof.
I'm standing there and I'm thinking to myself as the father of the boy and the father of the girl in both these scenarios.
Do you know who's failed the child? I'm talking about the girl. Let me start off with the girl part. Do you know who's failed the girl? The girl's parents.
Yeah.
Right? The girl's parents, because I have to ask you, where were you in raising your child when your child thinks that it's okay to bad chat, number one, an adult, and to bully a child? So bullying comes from people who have either been bullied or comes from people that have experienced some kind of hurt or trauma within the household. Clearly in the household, there are no boundaries. There is something wrong with the way that this child is being raised. And as a result of this child is lashing out. So this child is basically a manifestation of bad parenting. And a lot of parents will come in and say, no, the child could be, no, a 10-year-old needs parents. A 10-year-old needs an adult and needs adults who understand and are able to teach boundaries. If that 10-year-old does not have boundaries, it means that you as an adult have failed the child, non-compromising in that. So the people that have failed the 10-year-old are the parents, right? I do think that, though, because the child is so far gone in the failure of the parents to be able to raise them, he was never supposed to lift a hand up on the child. One, it is not your child. You can be arrested for assault. Two, you're a grown-up hitting a child. It's not your child. You can be arrested for assault. And the parents then have got a right to say, but you assaulted my child, which means that it takes away your argument for defending your son on the brutality that the girl imposed on your son. So I think that in situations like this, what you do is basically say, look, I'm not going to deal with you. You're a child. And unfortunately, the people that failed you are your parents. So I'm going to deal with your parents. You can back chat and yana all you want, but that child is acting out and lashing out because she's got bad parenting. You bring in the child into that, you bring in the parents into that school and say, this is what's happening in your school. You bring in the principal, you bring in the HOD. I don't care. You can bring in the media, because I think sometimes bullying in schools won't stop until the bullies, until the parents of the bullies, and until the school itself is afraid of the parents. I think schools need to get to a point where they're so afraid of the response of parents whose children have been bullied that they will never let that thing go. So bring in the parents, bring in the school, bring in the HFD, bring in the media, bring in the police. I don't care. Make sure that those parents of the 10-year-old understand that when it comes to your child, you will protect them. I don't mind if the father of that 10-year-old is going wang, 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 wang in your face, and you as the father of the 10-year-old, you go, I will show you. Because I think sometimes, and this is my unpopular opinion, sometimes I think that, and I also believe that we need to teach our kids that, number one, bullying is not okay. But number two, I wonder how many of us will allow your child to be bullied and say to your child, just stand there and take it. I will certainly say, not my child. If a bully is bullying you, you're not going to stand there and take it. Heck, show that bully that you are not the person that you're going to touch. So if the father of the 10-year-old is the one that is clearly demonstrating actions of being a bully, you as the father of that 10-year-old better stand up to that bully and say, not with my child. not with my body, not with me. If it means you're gonna have to get that parent arrested, get that parent arrested. Because I think people need to learn boundaries and learn not to overstep their boundaries.
I think we underestimate what bullying is like at these schools.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you need to have proper conversations with your children,
but don't hit somebody else's child. They can arrest you for assault. Don't hit somebody else's child. Deal with it in a different way. I don't mind. You as a man, deal with that with the man.
Who's your dad?
No, who's your father? Yes, ask the child who's your father, and then fetch the father, because somewhere, somehow, yes, go sort out. You as a man, go sort out. The answer, but go sort out the father.
To sort out violence, but yeah, definitely, it was one of those shocking things. But it had the internet, wondering, with many saying, looking at that child's behavior, many were like, well earned, but we had to speak about it.
Yeah, but then as felt as it's a child.